From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Another war of words breaks out between Arizona Senator Jeff Flake and President Donald Trump. We look at what Flake's departure means for the future of Arizona politics.
Farmers have their eyes on Congress, how changes to farm regulations could change food stamp distribution, how this could affect Arizona families.
And the Phoenix Suns have stepped forward to support victims of human trafficking, how their efforts are paving the future for young victims.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Madison Connor.
And I'm Tyler Finger. Thank you for joining us.
Arizona Senator Jeff Flake is responding to a new round of attacks from President Donald Trump, a day after Flake chose not to run for re-election rather than give up his principles.
He was against me from before he ever knew me. He wrote a book about me before I ever met him, before I ever heard his name.
Actually, the campaign was last year. I wrote the book this year, which just came out in August, so the timeline is a little bit off.
His poll numbers in Arizona are so low that he couldn't win.
Down in an off year, which is probably accurate, just not as relevant as it usually is. I thought it would be difficult, if not impossible, to move people in a Republican primary without embracing things that the president has said and has done that I felt uncomfortable doing.
Arizonans across the political spectrum are weighing in on what Senator Flake's departure means to the future of our state. Cronkite News reporter BRIDGET DOWD is tracking the latest in the broadcast center.
I talked with young party members across the political spectrum. All have concerns about the future without Senator Flake in office.
In order to truly contest this seat and to be competitive, you've got to run a kind of race that I'm not comfortable running.
Senator Flake explained his decision to retire at a news conference this morning, and young politicians in the Valley are speaking out about the decision, like ASU College Libertarians President David HOWMAN.
To see that he's going to be stepping down really made me sad, because I think we're losing a very principled individual in Congress, and I really hope that whoever does replace him can be just as principled.
HOWMAN says even though he disagrees with Flake on a lot of issues, he respects that Flake stands up for what he believes in. Other students are frustrated with Flake's choice not to run, like Ryan CLOUGHLEY, who is president of ASU's Alliance for Democracy.
He rebuked the president on the Senate floor, and now he's stepping aside. If anything, he should be running for re-election, and if he loses, he should lose on his morals. Instead, it's like he's bowing out when we need more people like him speaking up.
While Senator Flake is stepping down, he says it's important for members of all parties to work together and voice their concerns.
We can't continue to be silent when we shouldn't be. We can't normalize behavior and act as if that this is a new normal. It can't be a new normal.
We have more coverage of Flake's decision and the response online and on our Cronkite News social channels. You can find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
A DACA recipient who works in a Phoenix high school joined a handful of teachers from around the country today to lobby Congress. Cronkite News reporter Fraser Allen Best is live in our Washington newsroom with the details. Fraser?
Teachers came from around the country today to lobby Congress to preserve DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. That's a program that protects undocumented students from deportation if they entered the country as children. Advocates specifically pushed Congress to act before the March deadline, when the program is set to expire, leaving all those undocumented recipients of DACA unprotected. Hugo Areola Tinoco is a teacher aide from Phoenix who sees the human impact of immigration decisions made in Washington firsthand.
I see students just in fear and anxiety in the schools, just wondering what's going to happen with now that DACA has been rescinded.
For Areola Tinoco, it's not just about his students. Besides working in the Phoenix Union School District, he's a DACA recipient himself. That brought him to Washington today to lobby with the National Education Association, pushing for a vote on the DREAM Act. As a student who had to work off the books to pay tuition, Ariola Tinoco sees work permitting as a logical addition to the education eligibility offered by DACA.
A lot of undocumented students going through college and getting a degree and then applying for jobs, even just entry-level jobs that they're probably either overqualified for or they qualify and get them.
But others feel that a vision of the DREAM Act that includes work eligibility is unacceptable. R.J. HOWMAN is Government Relations Director at the Federation for American Immigration Reform.
You know, adding a large group of people, you know, to that pool of competition, you know, is something that greatly worries us. And, you know, again, we don't believe those people should be rewarded.
But Ariola Tinoco doesn't feel competition is a realistic concern.
If you qualify for a job, you know, why shouldn't you get the job?
In addition to House and Senate versions of the DREAM Act, there are at least 3 other bills aimed at DACA recipients. Now, none of those have yet come up for a hearing, and the clock is ticking. In Washington, Fraser Allen Best, Cronkite News.
The NAACP is warning African American travelers to be careful when they fly with American Airlines. The organization said it has noticed a pattern of incidents which suggests a corporate culture of possible racial bias, based on reports from African Americans who were removed from flights or forced to give up seats. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker sent a memo to staff which read in part, "We fly over borders, walls, and stereotypes to connect people from different races, religions, nationalities, economic backgrounds, and sexual orientations. We do not and will not tolerate discrimination of any kind." Parker said the airline leadership was planning to meet with the NAACP.
Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs is renewing his call to split the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals following the controversy over President Trump's refugee ban. Yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order to lift the ban on refugees from certain countries after a series of legal challenges. In a statement, Biggs said Trump was right to slow refugee admissions in the name of national security. Biggs wrote many judges and courts around the nation wrongly assume the role of legislator and executive when considering these significant cases, which fundamentally erodes our Constitution and subjects our republic to chaos. One of the most egregious offenders of the constitutional bounds of the judicial branch is the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which repeatedly makes decisions based on political motivations and did so with President Trump's attempt to institute these enhanced vetting procedures. The Tucson City Council is taking on gun control. They passed a resolution calling on state and federal leaders to ban bump stocks. This comes after 58 people were killed in the worst mass shooting in U.S. history earlier this month. Investigators believe the shooter used the device. Councilman Steve Kozachik introduced the resolution because he wants to get the conversation going on gun control.
Local agriculture producers could participate in a potential 2018 Farm Bill hearing in Arizona to determine what is and isn't working in federal farm policy. Cronkite News reporter Holly Bernstein looked into some of the proposed cuts to the bill.
I spoke with local agriculture experts to find out what potential cuts to SNAP could mean for local farms and the state economy. Abbey Lee Farms owner Neil Brooks developed a love for farming at a young age.
I started when I was 13 in my backyard, growing and selling houseplants at flea markets.
Eventually, he grew a business.
Now we have 1,000 acres of production space, 500,000 square feet of greenhouses.
Now farms like his are paying attention to the Farm Bill, which gets passed approximately every 4 to 5 years by Congress. President Donald Trump's fiscal year 2018 budget proposes reforms to Farm Bill programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, which provides food purchasing assistance to low-income people. Farms like Abbey Lee Farms utilize programs like SNAP so their customers can get their produce. Brooks says reductions to SNAP would hurt.
What people understand is that there's 2 parts of it. Everybody says, well, it's government spending, but it's also income to the farmer. So you're getting that money returned to the economy.
The president's budget proposal would reduce SNAP expenditures over the next decade by tightening eligibility. It could save an estimated $194 billion over 10 years. SNAP participation grew during the recession, but expenditures weren't as high as expected in the last Farm Bill in 2014.
One good thing is that we found that, with the economy in the last, 4 years or so has been pretty strong. And because of that, there's less people needing SNAP.
Manfredo says he doesn't expect to see SNAP completely eliminated in the future. And Brooks says to him, SNAP is the most important part of the bill.
We don't need to have people that are hungry in the United States. It's a sick thought. So that I don't think people understand that part of the biggest part of the Farm Bill is public assistance, really.
Brooks hopes he can continue feeding families in need his farm fresh produce. And according to data from the USDA, over 898,000 Arizonans in July of this year participated in SNAP. Live in Phoenix, Holly Bernstein, Cronkite News.
Victims of human trafficking, foster kids that have aged out of the system, and the homeless. These are groups that can feel marginalized.
But as Cronkite News reporter KEVYN GESSNER shows us, one Valley Center dedicated to helping these groups just got a big boost.
The Phoenix Suns Charities donated $100,000 to create a learning center at the Phoenix Dream Center to help survivors of human trafficking find a path to college.
Since the birth of the human trafficking program, the Phoenix Dream Center has catered to the lives of about 500 women. Brian STEELE, executive director and CEO, says once the medical care and counseling were addressed, there was a missing piece of the puzzle to get them to the next step of their lives.
Our desire is that they would be strong, independent young women out there in the community just doing amazing things for their life, and that they really truly could move on. And so therein entered really our heart for education.
Once the education program was created, Arizona State University and Grand Canyon University offered scholarships. But after the first year, the Dream Center noticed the women were having a hard time adapting. Steele says many of the women in the program hadn't even completed 10th grade, so they needed something to help them women go from a GED program to college, and that's where the Phoenix Suns stepped in.
This Phoenix Suns Learning Center that we've opened is geared at really helping the young women transition from our program, from here, into to full-on college.
Sarah Crahan-Buell is the executive director of the Phoenix Suns Charities and says the Phoenix Suns as a whole is not afraid to dive into sensitive topics like human trafficking and making a change.
Our owner is very adamant about doing what's right and making a strong impact on kids in our community. They are our most treasured assets, and if we don't help them, who is going to?
The women attend high school online, and in the evenings, interns from GCU come to help them prepare for college. KEVYN GESSNER, Cronkite News.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and all eyes are on treatment centers and awareness groups.
One Scottsdale Cancer Center is focused on the needs of its patients. Coming up on Cronkite News, how one boutique has updated its wardrobe in support of cancer patients and survivors.
Plus, thousands of Arizonans need new prosthetics every year, but funding for them is getting harder to find.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
It's like a Victoria's Secret for breast cancer survivors, and it's right here in the Valley. And Kirika Omernia takes us to a boutique that helps these women regain their beauty as they fight the disease.
I learned that it's okay to have no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and bald head and go in public. Carolyn Morris is one of many breast cancer survivors at an annual breast cancer risk and prevention event at the Virginia G. Piper Cancer Center in Scottsdale. She is a customer of Tina's Treasures, a boutique inside the cancer center that offers products specifically for breast cancer patients.
Mastectomy bras, breast prosthesis, skin care, and wigs.
Although there are functional items sold in the boutique, Supervisor LEANN Porter says the purpose of the store goes far beyond that.
It's important because women's image means a lot. Whether you agree with that statement or not, it does. And for women to feel whole again and feel pretty, this kind of boutique is something that is necessary.
Morris came to the store after her diagnosis more than 2 years ago.
I had surgery in October of 2015. I had a mastectomy.
According to research by the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, the number of women who got a mastectomy increased by 36% from 2005 to 2013.
Women just have that misconception that if you remove more tissue, you're going to do better.
Dr. Linda Liu wants women to know that advanced technology now allows for less invasive solutions.
Ladies will live just as long if they have a small tumor, if they do a minimal surgery called a lumpectomy, do a little bit of radiation, as opposed to doing a mastectomy.
While it may not be for everyone, Morris has her mastectomy to thank for being completely cancer-free. In Scottsdale and Carolyn, Cronkite News.
Morris found her lump performing a self-exam and recommends that women do a self-check monthly.
An estimated 500 people undergo amputations every day. But what happens when they can't get the prosthetics they need? Cronkite News reporter Trevor Fay spoke with amputees about their experiences getting prosthetic limbs.
Chris and Peggy are complete strangers, but they have two things in common. They both have amputated legs, and they both had to fight to get good prosthetics.
I advocate and I fight so that someday it doesn't always have to be a battle, but I have to fight and scrap and claw for absolutely every prosthetic need that I have.
Peggy was told it would be cheaper for her to be on drugs and crutches than receive a prosthetic limb. That's because insurance companies and Medicare providers don't want to pay for computerized limbs. Chris's experience wasn't much better. He says he needed an upgraded leg after about 1.5 years of having a basic prosthetic.
Financially, that was a burden. It was actually an issue where I had to get lawyers involved to convince the insurance companies that it was best for me.
There are an estimated 185,000 amputations in the United States every year, with over 3,000 of those coming from Arizona. Dr. Corinne Matke of the Rand Corporation says diseases like cancer take urgency away from funding advanced prosthetics.
We are not willing to spend the same amount of money for reducing heart attacks, and we are certainly not willing to spend the same amount of money to improve an amputee's life.
Major health insurance providers and Medicare companies did not respond to requests for comment. In Washington, Trevor Fay, Cronkite News.
According to the Amputee Coalition, Arizona has seen a 76% increase in amputations between 1997 and 2013, mainly to diabetes.
From devastation to celebration.
The push to help with the recovery of hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico is taking on new forms.
Elevate our culture, celebrate our people.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we take you to a Puerto Rico fundraiser where an open mic gave voice to an island in need.
And we are headed for a nice little cool down. I am tracking your weekend forecast.
This fall.
I'm so excited! What?
From the inspiring to the amazing.
We're in the presence of history.
The compelling.
He said, "Welcome home." It was just a powerful moment.
To the astounding.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
And from the breathtaking.
This is real.
A journey to Mars.
To the electrifying.
We're going to change the world.
All this and more. All this fall.
Oh my God!
Fridays, it's at Cronkite News, your social sharing connection where you choose the news. Facebook likes and shares, tweets, retweets, and favorites. YouTube views and subscriptions. We're watching you watch us. From our digital home at cronkitenews.azpbs.org to your television, web browser, or mobile device. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then join us for at Cronkite News, our weekly refresh, each Friday at 5 on Arizona PBS.
Your next trip to the Grand Canyon could cost you a lot more. The National Park Service is looking to increase entrance fees at some parks across the country. Currently, Grand Canyon visitors pay $30 per car to get in. Under the new plan, that would jump to $70 during the 5 busiest months, May through September. This comes just 2 years after entrance fees at many parks went up. The National Park Service wants to raise money to fix a maintenance backlog at parks. The public has 30 days to comment on the proposal. 24 Border Patrol agents are back in southern Arizona after a 26-day deployment in Puerto Rico. The agents were part of the federal response to Hurricane Maria, and they spent their time transporting supplies across the island, where roads and utility systems were heavily damaged by the storm.
Meanwhile, Phoenix's Puerto Rican community is finding innovative ways to help with the relief effort, including an open mic night at the Herberger Theater Center. Cronkite News reporter Fortessa Latifi was there as they took to the stage.
Poetry, music, miming, a raffle, and drinks are all part of the way Phoenix is showing their support for Puerto Rico. This open mic night, which collected funds for relief aid, is personal for Jessica Gonzalez, founder of Arriba PR and one of the organizers of the event.
I myself have family that withstood damage and are currently going through lack of access of clean water, support and rebuilding of their homes, and also just access to goods that can help them just stay alive, like food and water.
KEVYN hosts the monthly open mic nights and says he didn't think twice when approached to do a fundraiser for those affected by the storm on the island.
There's one thing here we're all here for, hopefully, which is to get some money together to help get stuff to the people in need in Puerto Rico.
The Herberger Theater Center hosts monthly open mics, but this is the first time they've dedicated an open mic to a cause. One way to help out was by buying raffle tickets. The prizes included a Fender guitar and scuba lessons. Marsha Macy came out and shared her hopes for Puerto Rico.
And they are going to lift themselves right up. I just know it. Good to have a little help from your friends, right? Okay.
For Gonzalez, nights like these are about building bridges between the Phoenix community and Puerto Rico, and she has some advice on how to do just that.
Elevate our culture, celebrate our people, and recognize that we are here to rebuild. We are not lazy. We work really hard, and we love everything about the United States. We're proud citizens, and we're here with you, and we want to embrace you in our family.
In Phoenix, Fortessa Latifi, Cronkite News.
Arriba PR set up a center on 16th Street where they are accepting donations.
The National Weather Service is changing the way it issues dust storm warnings. Starting next year, it'll issue more location-specific warnings. That means you'll get fewer alerts on your phone, so when you get one, you'll want to pay extra attention, because the National Weather Service believes your area could be affected by the approaching storm.
Forget the dust, we could use a nice burst of cool air right about now.
Emily Bloom is tracking when we could get a break from this heat.
Today is marking the first of what's going to be a nice little cool down for us here in Phoenix. We are currently sitting at 85, still well above that average of 85, and just 1 degree shy of that record of 96 that we set back in 2014. Across the state at the moment, we are sitting at 72 in Show Low, ditto up at the Grand Canyon, 94 down in Lake Havasu, and 91 in Tucson. Taking a look at our futurecast, we've got this area of high pressure over in the California, well out of our way at the moment. It's going to continue to make its way up the coast of California. As that happens, this trough of low pressure is just going to clip our state, pulling those temperatures down and driving up those winds. By Saturday, we are going to fall down to 88 degrees. We're going to bounce up to 91 for our Sunday, and by Halloween, we are going to be at 84 degrees, with that overnight low at 61, making it a beautiful evening for those trick-or-treaters.
With Dia de los Muertos just a week away, preparations to honor the dead have already begun throughout the valley.
But our Halloween festivities overshadowing this traditional Mexican holiday.
Still ahead on Cronkite News, one Scottsdale mother has taken the reins in having her heritage honored in the community this Halloween season.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Keeping one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong. Do you believe
Ozzy. The new weekly show where we tackle the taboo and debate the tough questions with some of the most interesting minds in the game. I'm Carlos Watson. Electrifying conversation. Friday, only on PBS.
Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is an annual holiday celebrated primarily by Mexicans and those of Mexican descent, remembering those who've passed on. Here in the Valley, a Scottsdale stay-at-home mom is now seeing her Day of the Dead altars project come to reality after 4 years of working to get it out to the public. The name of the project is Our Stories Live On, and it came together after Andrea Hernandez Garcia's daughters told her they didn't feel their Latina roots were being recognized enough in the community. This project creates a space for all people to come together and celebrate their loved ones. The 16 altars currently on display were created by a diverse group of residents during a 2-day workshop earlier this fall.
Just their enthusiasm and to share their stories, and then watching them make their altars, and their altars were made out of, definitely love and compassion.
When people can tell personal stories to one another, it really allows for more open understanding and dialogue between people who may not even ever know each other, and being able to share these folks' stories with the public in this exhibition, I think is really most important.
The Our Stories Live On altar will be on display in Scottsdale until November 30th.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to our website, cronkitenews.azpbs.org.